The punter, Jack Fox, to get this one started. And we're off and running from Ford Field. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. They'll start this one out with Hall. And they love to see him fighting forward, but he only gets them 3. We'll pause after that first snap of the game. Gonna need to adjust their game plan because that is their running back who's hurt and getting some help. 2nd down now, 7 to go. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. As a man, Justin Jefferson. Give him 13 on that play. And it'll give the Jets a 1st down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Rolling left, behind some. This time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
That's incomplete left side. Garrett Wilson, the intended receiver. So now it's going to be 3rd and long.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Back to throw. Oh, he got 3. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. Here comes the punting unit for the Jets. Only needed once last week in the win, and he matches that total here. Calls fair catch and has it inside the 40-yard line. We don't get a return out of that punt. And the Lions will go on offense. First give on the ground to Jahmyr Gibbs. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a 1st down.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
That's caught. Here comes Jahmyr Gibbs. And a solid gain there. Gets him across the 45 before he goes out. Give him 8 yards on the play. And that gives the Lions the 1st. Throwing with a blitz on the way. This is complete to Gibbs.
You know, I've learned over the years, defensively, they call that the camera club. How many different guys can get rallying to the football? So that last shot you see on camera, you see as many defenders keeping that to a 0-yard gain. That's well done defensively.
2nd and 10 now. St. Brown there to bring it in. Escapes a defender. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They pick up 20 yards there. And that'll be 1st down, Detroit.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You spring a big gain like that, Kate, on the interior, 9 times out of 10, that O-line decisively won their matchup with the big fellas up front. They got those pads down. They created leverage, and they opened up that running lane.
Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Shotgun handoff to Vucky. Give him 5 on that play. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 6.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
Shotgun now on 3rd down. He's got it. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
Gibbs has nothing on that run. They stand strong and stop him at the 2.
You know, Kate, during draft season, I was talking to an NFL GM, and he said, you know what, in time, we're going to realize tackles for loss are just as big a deal as sacks. Sacks get so much of the popularity. Tackles for loss, when you knock that offense backwards, I promise you, in time, we'll be keeping a closer eye on plays like that one.
And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This coordinator tried to show some trust and belief in his offense. A run after a negative run? Well, you lose a lot of equity and belief in that coordinator. I don't think he's going to try a 3rd run after back-to-back negative losses.
Back now, pressure on its way. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time? Well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
3 plays haven't gotten it done. Now a 4th to try to reach that end zone. Now they'll throw out of the gun. They can't connect as the coverage comes through with a 4th down stand.
I think this defense was resigned to giving up 3 points on the opening series. Instead, well, they got the chance to deny them anything, and boy, did they ever attack it.
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Beginning on the ground with Algier. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
As an offense in these situations, Kate, you could feel your own goal line, and you're not going to risk putting the ball in the air. So that means you're going to run it, and you're going to buy whatever breathing room you can.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Throwing now from the gun. It's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right. Garrett Wilson, the intended receiver. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. Motioning the tight end left. They're going to throw it on 3rd and long. Escapes the pocket. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Here's a handoff for Algier. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. Rookie out of Washington making that tackle. Through one quarter, neither side breaking through on the scoreboard. Couple of zeros on the board right now. Time for the second quarter of play. It's Jets football. They have second and pretty long here. They send a man in motion. Throwing on second and real long here. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
Third and long for him here. He throws a bullet deep to the right side.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Fourth down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And hey, at least he held onto the football, but they will get nothing on that return. No return on that punt. And they're going to take over possession. Good field position for the Lions here as they head up to the line. 1st and 10. I'll start on the ground with Gibbs. And he gets it forward to still about a yard out of that. Brandon Stevens in on the tackle. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Trying to throw here out of the gun. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions, from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. They just did.
And he's brought down before the return gets far. Officially a 55-yard launch. And it'll be Jets football. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun here. He's on the move. Oh, look at this. Here he goes. It's a 23-yard pickup on the play. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
Oh, that just sucks the wind out of a defense. So demoralizing. So many guys do things the right way, only to see a quarterback evade the pressure and go get that 1st down anyway.
One play in, and already they're close to midfield. On the handoff, here's Davis. And he's got it up to midfield and into Lions territory. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Motioning one of the tight ends. From the 46. Escapes out to the left. And that's nearly intercepted, but couldn't hang on. Just a harmless incompletion. It's third down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. Shotgun snap, they're going to throw. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. It's a gain of 12 there. And it'll give the Jets a first down.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
They're set up at the 35 now. To throw here on first down. Finds his fullback. And they take him down right along the 30.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Second down carry for Algier. And his drive up the middle gets him about 3. Tackled by Jack Campbell.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Slot man in motion right. It's Algier on 3rd. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. And they crush him right near the marker. It looks close, but yeah, Brock, I think he safely got that first down before the hit.
Come on now. Was there any doubt who they were going to go to right there? That was always going to be a run play. No problem converting on 4th.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Changing things up. They're going to throw now. Gets this one to Tyler Algier. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. They'll have 1st and goal to go now after they gained 18 on the previous play.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. That brings us to the 2-minute warning in the Motor City. The Jets are on the move here. Four downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Handoff here to Davis. And he drives it forward for a modest gain. 6 yards from there. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain. Not a game-changing play by any means. But one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
So early movement from the backfield, Brock. They jumped the gun a bit, and that brings out the flag. There was a blitz coming, and that got somebody to panic and jump early. It cost them 5 yards. Second and goal now, 5 yards more difficult following that penalty. Looking to throw it this time. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is in. Going the other way, Lions have it.
Gosh, we have seen these quarterbacks make some incredible plays from here to reach the end zone. That was certainly not one of them. Careless with the football, left an opening for those defenders to knock it free and escape without surrendering any points.
Throwing now, following the turnover. He lets one fly deep downfield. They connect on the deep shot. And he flips the field for them before being taken down. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. So the big play gets him inside the opposing 45, Brock, with a new set of downs to boot. To throw it on first down. He's trying to go deep again. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. Second down coming up.
That's somebody they're going to look for if he has any space deep. That space, though, Kate, just disappeared between when he let that pass go and when he actually made it down the field.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. He's going to throw this one. Has him on the quick hitter. And they bring him down around the 34. Lions really moving with a sense of urgency. Clock keeps running. He finds Laporta. And he's got it down to the 30 before going out. It's a 4-yard gain, and that's going to get him across the marker and earn the first.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
First and 10 now from the 30. Right up the gut. He's charged towards the line. It's right around 3 yards. Detroit calls timeout. It's second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
Here's second and 7. To the right and hauled in by Laporta. And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. Will McDonald there on the tackle. Oh, not like this. An interception ends that drive. And the Jets are stopped on that return. So that interception is going to be the final play of this opening half. We've reached the midway point of this contest. 2 quarters down and an exciting 2 to go. The NFL on EA Sports returns after this. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. Well, Brock, I think it's safe to say this has been a defensive slobber knocker through 2, right? Maybe some points finally on the horizon as we resume play. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. They'll go right side with Gibbs. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Chidobe, Awuzie, they're on the tackle. Give him around 6. That's going to make it second and 4.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
Short pass brought in. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And that gives the Lions the first. Coming right is Gibbs. Runs inside the 35. And he has this all the way down to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Complete over the middle. And he gets this forward to the 19.
A whole bunch of credit goes to just about everybody on that offense. Guys up front didn't give the QB enough time to let that play develop. Excellent effort by that receiver to stay alive and for the quarterback to scan the field and find his completion.
From the 19. Finds him over the middle. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. That's a gain of 13, and it sets him up with first and goal.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal. They motion the tight end over. First and goal. Here's Gibbs. Runs it in. Touchdown, Detroit. The Lions take the lead right away in half number 2. It's a Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown. That's up and through for the point after. And they add one on to their first touchdown of the contest. Fox now to kick this one away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. They're out and set, first and 10. They go play action here. Tried to float that one in, and defender's there for the interception. And the Lions get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season. Well, no doubt they envisioned that as the start of a second-half push for the lead. But the defense, well, defense had other ideas, Brock, protecting their team's advantage and taking possession back on the first play of the series. Not the way you needed to start the half if you were thinking comeback, but exactly the way to start the half if you're trying to take this lead and step on it. That's a defender who sensed the need for a splash play and delivers. First down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Pass play now. A lot of guys there, and it's intercepted. Quincy Williams has it. And the Jets are going to have it after his 2nd interception of the season. There are costly interceptions, Brock, and then there are interceptions inside the red zone in the second half of a one-score game. And if there is ever a time where ball security is paramount, it is right now. Yeah. They made a great play. Don't get me wrong. They deserve a ton of credit right there. But as a quarterback, you cannot risk a turnover. It's touchdown, it's check down, it's throw the ball away. You're literally throwing points away with that pick. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on first down. This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw. So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. From the gun, they go with Algier. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Lee McNeil in on the tackle.
This close to your own goal line, they really don't want to risk a sack. That means, well, one option, run it and buy whatever breathing room you can.
Defense with an excellent opportunity at a stop here on third down. Throwing from near his own goal line. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll get this up to the 19-yard line as he stopped. 16 yards on the play. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
They'll come up 1st and 10. Looking for a throw here. Connects with Mechie. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 37 on the play. And it'll give the Jets a first down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
He's hardly won't risk something here and just chucks it away.
You really want those throws to be like clockwork for your offense. Every team needs to hit passes in that short to intermediate range to effectively move the ball.
Second and 10 now. Jefferson brings it in on the slant. And he's taken down at the 30. Offense in the hurry up here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Completed over the middle. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Hauled in left side. That's a pickup of 17 yards, partner, and it makes it 1st and goal.
Okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I've seen it once. I've seen it 100 times. Next week on the practice field, this running back's going to say, see, I'm not just a running back. I can play receiver. And you receivers, you couldn't do my job, but I just showed you I could do yours.
And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
After the loss, it's 2nd and goal from the 5. Back to throw now. That one's incomplete in the end zone.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. Putting a receiver in motion. From the gun on 3rd down. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. 4th down coming up.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
They've got a man in motion. Looking to throw. Intercepted in the end zone. Terrion Arnold has it.
You know, Kate, one of the tenets of the West Coast system that I was fortunate to play in, touchdown to check down. Touchdown to check down. You get in the red zone, it's touchdown to check down. You can't put the ball in harm's way. That's a brilliant job by the defense with their coverage, baiting the quarterback into the throw. But you got to sail that one into the stands. Touchdown or check down. You can't possibly give an interception in that situation.
Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Handoff on 2nd and short. And the defense gets the... Third and just 2 to go.
19, Tiger, 19, Tiger.
They'll throw it. Forced out to his right. And it's picked off, but, oh, yep, pretty clear he was out of bounds, so no interception, incomplete.
You know, that is such a bummer because as a quarterback, gosh, you got to give your receiver enough space and enough real estate to make that catch in bounds. That was off just enough to carry the receiver to the sideline before he could establish possession.
They're throwing it. And they won't do it. That ball's incomplete on 4th down.
Hey, I am all for aggression. You get 4 downs, go for it. But I do have to wonder here, Kate, after being denied once again, is there going to be a trust level on that sidelines to go for it the next time they get this shot?
Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away. That makes it 2nd down.
Perhaps a bit late breaking towards the ball, but still just enough time to get a finger on it and knock it away.
Couldn't connect on first. It's 2nd down. Man in motion here. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Chased out to his right. Gets out of trouble. They left him wide open. It's complete. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They'll get 31 yards on the play. And it's good enough for a New York first down. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. This is reeled in by Wilson. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They are throwing it again. And he hauls it in for the New York touchdown. The Jets now trail by just a point in the 4th. It's a Justin Jefferson touchdown. The kick is good, so this game now hinging on every possession as we're tied up in the fourth. On now is Cook to kick this away. He fields it from the 8. And he'll be out of bounds at the 22-yard line on the return. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
Throwing from the gun here. That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught. This one intended for the running back. And it's going to be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Pass play coming here. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down. Looking for the back that time. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long. Back to throw. As the open man downfield. And he goes out. Just needed one more step to reach midfield. That's going to pick up the 1st down after a gain of 26.
Every time I see one of those angle routes, I think back to my day 1 install. Rookie minicamp in the NFL. Texas, angle route. 49ers of the 80s, they were making hay with it then. And the running back's still doing it to this day.
And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Give him 5 on that carry. Bring it up 2nd and 5. From the 47. Fits it through the middle. And what a hit there. Ouch, she faced the price for moving the chains that time.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack them only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
On 1st down, it's Gibbs. And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for 2.
That's a pretty good stop on 1st down. This defense now gets a chance to dictate, and that's what all the great defenses want to do, Kate. They want to dictate it on their terms and not just be reacting to what the offense is always doing.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Another one for Gibbs. And he's brought down for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. He's back to throw. That's caught for the 1st. Touchdown, Detroit. Well, this has definitely been a tight one throughout, Brock. So now that they've taken the lead, the question becomes, can they hold on to it?
And that question right there is one the defense has to answer. But this sure had the look of a drive where a coaching staff challenged that offense, saying, hey, we need a big drive from you guys right here, and sure enough, that offense delivers.
Yeah, no doubt. Fox now to kick this one away. And he just sends it over the end zone. No threat of a return at all, but now they're going to spot the ball at the 30 to begin the drive. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. A dangerous throw, and he almost got burned by it. The interception dropped it incomplete on 1st down.
You feeling lucky? Well, do you? Well, he should, because the quarterback got away with one right there. That was an easy pick dropped by the defense.
He'll throw again on 2nd down. That one's caught along the left sideline. It's a 33-yard gain and a fresh set of downs.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw when you throw it that deep outside the numbers that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
On the move, headed right. Catch is made down the right sideline. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Well, you don't normally get that type of outcome on a slant. You're just looking for a little short yard gain. But find the right type of athlete with space to work before and a perfectly placed ball after the catch. Well, it's a perfect play to break it big.
They can decide to play for the tie or win later. First, they've got to reach that end zone. It's 1st and goal. They send a man in motion. First down from the red zone. Yet another interception, and that could be what does it. And the Lions get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Here's a give to Gibbs. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. So a timeout comes in. It looks like the defense using its first stops this game as we get close to our 2-minute warning.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
And he's up to the 7-yard line as he gets all down. Now before we reach the 2-minute warning, we've got a timeout. That's the 2nd one used by the defense in this half. Looking at a tough spot to punt it away if this 3rd down is unsuccessful. Looking to throw. Pass complete to Gibbs. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. Now we get a pause, Brock, as the defense uses its final timeout, so the clock only going to stop again at our 2-minute warning. Handoff running left. Here's Gibbs. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
The tackle by Leo Chanel. A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 14-yard line.
We've reached the 2-minute warning in Detroit. Lions leading by 7. All right, here we go. 2nd down. Again, it's Gibbs. Up the sideline past the 25. And he's all the way up to the 29-yard line. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. This will be a nice win for the Lions, who draw closer to it as they take a knee.
This is situational football at its best. There's still some time left to bleed off the clock, but the really important thing here is you've got to bleed every second of that clock that you can.
Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
It goes to a knee as Tom winds down in this one. So it's one.